Hello there, gang, and welcome to Model Behaviour. On today's episode of Good News, we've got live action gargoyles, the Thundercats get a new comic, a woman eats a sandwich, all this and much more, because it's the only news that matters. It's good news. First up, and kicking things off, we have Mattel with their Masters of the Universe / Ninja Turtles mashup figures. These are going to be dropping January 1st, 2024, so what a way to kick off the new year. And this is a fun little line that they're doing. We've had Ninja Turtles mashed up with just about everything at this point, whether it's Power Rangers, Cobra Kai, was there a Stranger Things one as well? They love smooshing these Ninja Turtles in with other lines, and this looks like another fun sort of experiment. So rather than mashing up two different characters, we're getting kind of a mix of mashups and just mutantified versions. So we have Leonardo not mashed up with anyone, but wearing actually pretty awesome looking Eternia type battle gear. That's kind of cool. Same to be said with Donatello, but you can at least kind of see some man-at-arms, Eternia guard type armor going on there with the little chest mouth kind of cover and stuff. Again, it's kind of cool battle armor for Donatello. Then we just got Mutant He-Man. So again, no mashups, but just He-Man who's clearly fallen afoul of some of the ooze there. And Man-at-Arms, this one is the least kind of exciting, I feel. It's just Man-at-Arms, really, with a slightly turtle shell looking shield. Then we got probably one of my favorite ones here. We got Krang, mutant beast kind of Krang. I mean, I don't know. Can you guys spot? Is this a Skeletor villain that he's kind of mashed up with here, or is it just an Eternia type monster? Either way, Krang's always fun. And we got Trapjaw, who, there you go. This is a proper kind of mashup, I'd say. We got Trapjaw with Mouser accessories, and they really lend themselves to each other's design. That works really well. So yeah, for an initial first wave here, they look kind of fun. Look out for them January 1st, and I can only assume this is the start of what will probably be an ongoing series, so I'm interested to see what they do next. Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech are still on that Marvel bandwagon, this time with an MCU-style Winter Soldier. We only have this initial announcement picture here. No other ones yet, but you know they're going to be coming in time. And here, what we can see is actually a pretty badass-looking Winter Soldier. There are plenty of Marvel Legends if you want to get a cheaper Marvel Legends version, but Kotobukiya, they're always so fun with their dynamic posing options. The way the figures are put together is really unique and unusual. Some people hate them. Me personally, I really like that style, and they've only been getting better and better. So looking at this image, I'm thinking, you know what, they might have another winner on their hands, especially with a character like Winter Soldier, who wears armor and has things that kind of tessellate and slide and slot into place naturally. I think it'll kind of lend itself to the Kotobukiya sort of... No, it's not Kotobukiya, excuse me. Amazing Yamaguchi. Embarrass yourself there, Dave. It'll lend itself to that kind of style. So since we've only got the reveal picture here, I'm guessing we're looking at least a year until this thing hits store shelves, but that gives us a year to get excited, because it looks like we got at least two different faces with the mask covering. He's going to have loads of knives, guns, all that sort of good stuff. I'm excited to see more from this. Gentle Giant are doing a Darth Vader from the Clone Wars statue, and it looks very pretty. And it's no real sort of surprise as to what it looks like. It looks like Darth Vader, 1/6 scale, so Hot Toy scale, and $300, which actually is pretty reasonable for a nice statue. I mean, yeah, you can pay all sorts of crazy money, or much cheaper as well for statues, but this at a glance, and not being much of a statue expert, I think, like, yeah, looks like about $300 worth of statue there. So 1/6 scale, no articulation, but just beautifully posed. Darth Vader looking like a boss. He's got the blue lightsaber, but I'm not up on Clone Wars mythology. Like, I guess, didn't he lose his lightsaber at the end of Revenge of the Sith? I mean, I guess he gets it back for a bit, and then does he lose it again? I don't know. I've not watched Clone Wars, but I'm asking the important questions, and quite frankly, someone has to. You're welcome, Planet Earth. Nightwolves toys, a new brand I haven't heard of, or at least an old brand that I still haven't heard of. They revealed they're not Legend of Zelda Link figure. This is Mysterious Legend Warrior, and he does have a striking resemblance to a certain video game character, and he wouldn't look out of place on a certain Zelda fan shelf because, I mean, look at him. Does look kind of gorgeous. 1/6 scale, again, that's your Hot Toys scale, and it looks like he's got all sorts of different accoutrements and accessories, weapons. I mean, let's not beat around the bush, taken straight out of Breath of the Wild. The bow and arrow, I love, because that's totally one of those, what are they called? Chocoblins? Gokoblins? Whatever they're called. The minions that you beat up by the barrel full. It looks like one of the weapons that you would, take from them and forge. And I was saying Breath of the Wild. No, this is Tears of the Kingdom, because he's got the special arm with all the dooberries on it. But I need to get back to playing that game. I kind of put it on the back burner, and now Spider-Man 2 is coming out in 2 days. Oh, it might be a while before I play any more Legend of Zelda. Nonetheless, though, if you want this guy on your shelf, he's hopefully going to be up for pre-order soon. No release dates or prices yet, but lots of pretty pictures, and honestly, that's mainly why we come here, isn't it? It's not for the cold hard facts, it's for the pretty pictures to get excited about. And if there are any Legend of Zelda fans out there, well, you can be justified in getting excited about this, because with the base as well, what looks like might be light up functions too, yeah, this looks like a really pretty package here. Much less pretty is InArt's 1/6 scale Pennywise figure, and yeah, don't want this on my shelf, don't want this in my room, in my house, or in my neighborhood. Terrifying. I mean, oh geez, look at the smiling face. No, oh man, Bill Skarsgård, dude. You would have thought like, it's going to be difficult to top Tim Curry. I think he yes-anded Tim Curry. I think this version of Pennywise, absolute nightmare fuel. I feel bad for anyone who saw that It movie as a little kid. Like, this new generation's going to grow up with a whole new boogeyman to be scared of. But if you're not scared of him and you want him on your shelf, then InArt, that's the name of the manufacturer, they're going to be bringing this guy to you. Again, no release date or price yet, but just, fair warning. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Another one without a release date or a price yet, but just Dave showing you pretty pictures. Dagon from Star Art Toys. This just looks like an awesome Mythic Legions Cthulhu type monster, and it's not the only Cthulhu type monster we're going to have on this episode. I just like showing off these kind of things and getting excited about upcoming projects. I'm so sorry that I don't have release dates or prices, but this is early. This is early sneak preview kind of stuff, but that's kind of what I like to do on Model Behavior. We get ahead of the game by just showing things that are kind of in the pipeline and in the works. So that's all the information I have, is just these pictures and the name of the manufacturer, but that alone, it gives us something to think about. Infinity Studio are doing a 1/4 scale Hobbs from Fast and the Furious statue, or aka The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, with his minigun, just looking like an absolute beast of a human being right here. One of the few people in the world where you don't need to go imaginative with your ridiculous proportions when designing his comic book kind of counterpart or action figure. No, it's all there. 100% Dwayne Johnson. And maybe some, extra supplements. Just creatine. That's all it is. But yeah, don't have a price? Wow, that's just the go-to expression for this episode, isn't it? But that's what happens when the news is slow and we do a few deep dives. Deep dives. Thank you for coming here for the Model Behavior deep dive. You can also date this. It's got his old Brahma bull. He's since updated that with a slightly bigger one. But yeah, Fast and the Furious, Hobbs here. Isn't it kind of funny how he said like, I'm done with the Fast and the Furious. I don't need that franchise anymore. Then Black Adam did what Black Adam did. And he's like, yo, any room in the Fast and the Furious franchise? Is there still a place at the table for old Dwayne? Hey, look, all's forgiven. Come on back. Let's have some fun doing stupid stuff on screen again. I'm sure that's what they said. And here, would you like some humble pie? X Plus Deforial Iris from Gamera. Yep, I had to say all of that before I forgot it. I don't really know Gamera as a kaiju with their characters, but as opposed to Godzilla, a lot of Gamera's bad guys and villains seem to be a bit more elaborately designed, and this one's no exception. Obviously, this little statue here is a very chibi kind of version of this character, but I really like it. I kind of want to see more from this, like a less cheapified version. It just looks like a really cool monster design. Love the tendrils, love kind of the exposed muscle, the little, what looks like a brain sat inside of this elaborate kind of skull. It looks sort of wicked. And the cheapified versions are kind of adorable too. So I'm going to keep an eye out for this. Can you guess what I'm going to say? We'll say it together. 3, 2, 1. No release date or price yet, but just some preview pictures. But the preview pictures, well, they look fun to preview. There you go. Now, this is something I'm really excited about, but very sort of clueless on either. You know, more so than most other things. MotU are a model kit company, but at the recent, is it WonderCon, I think, over in China, they've been showing off this new Marvel line that they're doing, and it's really hard to tell if these are going to be painted or unpainted, and I'm really hoping they're going to be painted because they're doing not spectacular. Not sensational. Come on, Dave. What's the other S1? Superior. There we go. We got there in the end. They're doing Superior Spider-Man, 1/12 scale, and it looks like he's going to have everything that you could possibly want a Superior Spider-Man to have. We're going to come back to that, because also they're doing the MCU Iron Spider as well, and I'm hoping that these model kits are essentially kind of like the Transformers ones that came out recently from YOLO Park, where you basically get the whole figure already done, made, painted, and you just got to stick little bits of armor on and stuff. If that's all it is, I'll buy the heck out of that Superior Spider-Man. So you can see, yeah, these are just the accessories that come with the Iron Spider, I think it is. Oh no, this looks like the accessories for Superior Spider-Man. You got the little spider bot there. You got the little spider sense as well. He's got the backpack that he wears that his Waldos come out of. Then I think this is a regular 616 Peter here. So you got regular 616 Peter with a couple of comic book sound effects pieces as well. That's super fun. We got Gwen Stacy too, kind of a Spider-Verse looking one. Hoo-ha. Here is Superior Spider-Man. Look at those legs. Those, dang it. They look amazing because they look thin and spindly because that's how they were drawn. But it always makes you think, well, could they do that in plastic form? Well, these guys sure have. If it's painted, I'll buy it in a heartbeat. If it's unpainted, I won't, because I don't have painting skills. I'd only frustrate myself doing that. But this just looks so good. You got the sort of prototype concept images for Miles here as well. So they're going to have a Miles in the works. You've got the MCU Iron Spider we were talking about. There's Gwen Stacy as well. She looks like a lot of fun. So they don't have the concepts for Superior Spider-Man, but he's right there. He's right there, and he looks like he could be so, so good. So this is the thing I'm most excited about. It's only frustrating that I've spoken to a whole bunch of people online, and no one is sure whether these ultimately will be painted or not. If they are painted, and you just got to stick the little bits of armor and stuff together, this could be my figure of the year for next year already. Calling it early. This might be the one. See, MotU are also doing a 1/12 scale The Dark Knight tumbler. And this is something that says that what we're seeing here is a pre-painted version, which implies to me that there's going to be a painted version. So that then lends more credence to the fact that hopefully these spider characters will also come painted as well. But also, don't want to bury the lead. It's a 1/12 scale tumbler. This thing looks pretty amazing. And you can see the painted versions there, which again, fills me with anticipation that Superior Spider-Man's going to be a similar looking thing. These look great. MotU have just kind of come out of nowhere with these reveals for me. I don't know, again, maybe there are people who are like, actually, Dave, they've been around for years. I'd be like, thank you. But I didn't know. But yeah, these look like good quality. They're kind of Mafex-ish. If you got to piece these all together, it's almost like build your own Mafex figure. But yeah, you got the bat signal as well. We might be eaten well as comic book 1/12 scale collectors next year. And if MotU are a new company, and if they deliver on what we're seeing right now, dude, they could be a new player in this game. Because if they live up to the hype, and what hype is that? My hype. I'm hyping them right here. Then, dude, there might be a lot to get excited about. Even Christian Bale's silly-looking Batman, yeah, I think Christian Bale's Batman looks silly. That mouthpiece, I just can't take it seriously. But everything else, the quality, it looks really nice. But the only way we're going to know for sure is when we get them in hand. So, as artistic journalist that I am, I think I'm going to have to get one of these in hand to find out for myself. But there's a lot of exciting stuff on display here. So yeah, Modo King. These guys might be one to watch. Susu Toys are doing a not Deathstroke. What are they calling him? The Dead Killer. Is he dead? And is he a killer who's dead? Does he kill people dead? I don't know. I'm overthinking. It's not Deathstroke from the DCEU. What was the name of the actor? Joe Manganiello? Was that it? Either way, there was no point in getting attached to him because he wasn't around for long. Nonetheless, though, this figure, 1/6 scale, so Hot Toy scale, he's going to be retailing for about $120 and coming out around about the second quarter of next year. And if you want a Hot Toy style DCEU Deathstroke, well, this is probably the closest you're ever going to get. And from these preview pictures, looks real nice. So yeah, keep an eye out for this if you want to add this to your 1/6 scale collection, because I don't know what the quality is going to be like in hand, but looking at these nice little images, he'll probably go right alongside your Hot Toys, and he might even look better than some. Actually, that's going a bit far. Nonetheless, though, he should fit right in. 5K Toys have just shown a sneak peek Combatants Land of Exile. That's all we know. That's all we know. Zezre Toys. Xerxes Toys, I still don't pronounce the name right. But they make the incredible, combatant arena Roman gladiator type figures with the crazy Rhinotaur character and the ladies with the armor and then the dudes, and you know what I'm talking about. Why am I elaborating on this? Those guys, they're going to be doing post-apocalyptic figures, and I, for one, am very excited by this. We only have this little animated picture to go on, but that's enough to whet my appetite, so I'm just saying, okay, Zezre Studios, Zezre. I'm going to go with Zezre. Zezre Studios, you have my attention. Show me something cool. What do I need to start saving my money for? Mezco have shown an image of their new G.I. Joe 1/12 scale figure. It's going to be Duke? Is it Duke? I can't see on the picture. There's no name. Is that Duke? I want to say Flint, but it's not Flint. He's the guy with the beret and the dark hair, right? Let's go with Duke. And yeah, typical Mezco style. I'm sure it's going to be lovely when it eventually hits store shelves. I don't think they've released Roadblock yet, and he was announced and revealed, like, again, we're talking years. Mezco, it's always the same story, man. I love ya, but you kill me with your release dates or not keeping to them. So it says charging into battle on the 18th of the 10th, which I'm guessing is just, pre-order date. So you can pre-order him now, I guess. I'm going to go and see if there are some more pictures of him. So yeah, coming up for pre-order, but when he's going to hit store shelves, I don't know. But when he does, it'll be a good day. What year will that be? Who can say? 5K Toys are showcasing their Theo and Eri Metal Slug figures. And honestly, I'm very tempted to get at least one of these because I grew up playing Metal Slug. Often it was available in pubs or family restaurants. There'd be a Metal Slug arcade game. I always remember that. And these are not cheap. They're $89, as you can see in the picture here. But the quality of these figures look really, really good. 1/12 scale, which is just my go-to scale. That's my happy scale for action figures right there, with all the cloth goods, the ridiculous face poses. I guess we all eat sandwiches that way. I don't think I've ever looked so excited to eat a sandwich. Nonetheless, though, they look terrific. I really, really like them. So I might have to get just one, because I think that whether it's the one on the left or the right, I think the one on the right with the darker hair and the glasses, like, that's a quirky character-looking character. A quirky character-looking character. Wow, Dave, you speak English good, don't you? But both of them, I mean, look at the blast effects on the machine gun there. Got the little bubblegum effect on this one too. I'm not sure which one would be more fun to have on the shelf. Not both of them. That's too much. But just the one, because also I can see the way they got the knee pads that covers up the knee joints, makes the whole thing look a little bit more sort of organic looking. I dig it. I really, really dig it. The amount of lewd poses that people are going to be doing with that, unbelievable. At least 5K Toys are leaning into it. They're like, there you go. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Metal Slug, and I'm a big fan of these ladies right here. So I think one of them might have to be adorning my shelves pretty soon. Now, a lot of people come to me and they say, Dave, we love your show, plus you're very handsome. I say thank you very much. But they also say, you know what, it's a little bit unfair though that you lean so heavily into cheesecake and showing off the ladies. What about some equal representation? And to that I say, okay, Fine. You want it? Well, here you go. Macho bodybuilder SpongeBob SquarePants. Don't say I don't give a little something for everyone. Not only that, but you can get Squidward too. So there you go. If you ever wanted a big statue of Squidward in a banana hammock posing pouch, well, there you go. And you can bookend it with SpongeBob SquarePants as well. If ever there were a cursed image, I would say this does it. And the real tragedy is, unfortunately, I've got some information here, but nothing that tells me where you can get them from. Because obviously that's going to be your next question, is where can I purchase these delectable delights? Well, I don't know. They're going to be available from somewhere Hong Kong based, I guess, by the look of some of those characters. But hey, look, if you want them, go deep diving. Switch off safe search, go to Google Images and type on SpongeBob SquarePants in a G-string, see what you can find. And also, don't do that. You're probably not ready for whatever's going to come up. Good news for Thundercats fans, they are getting a whole new ongoing series from Dynamite Comics, who actually have I think in my opinion, a track record of putting out really good comic books. So hopefully this will be no exception. All I've got here to start with is the cover to issue 1, and it looks like they're going the route of like more of a grimy, mature Thundercats for the audience who are now 40-somethings who grew up watching it. I'm going to keep an eye on this because I'm always a bit of a Thundercats fanboy at heart, and Dynamite, they've got a good track record for comic books. We could be onto a good thing here. I might even do a comic book review when it comes out. I should start doing more of that, actually. Okay. Table that thought for later. Nonetheless, though, Thundercats coming from Dynamite. You should be in for a good time with that. Gargoyles are getting a rebooted live-action series on Disney+, and this is something, you know, no matter how many middling, underwhelming Disney+ shows we get, I'm always going to be excited when they announce something new and interesting, and the live-action Gargoyles, yeah, that's got me very interested. If they were just going to do another animated show, that in itself could be great. You know, with them bringing back X-Men, you know, it's a great time to have that 90s animated integration, but instead, they're raising the stakes. They're going live action, and that could present a whole bunch of challenges, but some really fun possibilities as well. What are live action Gargoyles going to look like? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. So I'm guessing it's going to be around about sometime next year. But we'll probably have to wait a long time. Disney seem to be going through a big restructuring and reorganizing process. They, Kevin Feige, that's it. Don't know where James came from. Kevin Feige has been saying in interviews how they're going to be reformatting how they do TV shows and doing a soft reboot at some point and keeping things and losing things. So a lot is up in the air at Disney right now. But when the dust settles, if we're left with a badass Gargoyles live action show, I could dare say that we've done pretty well. A fun little side thing I thought I would show you while I was out on my travels. A store had a huge big display of Berserk statues, and as you know, I'm kind of like a new to the party Berserk fanboy, and it's just so freaking cool to see these. All of them massively outside of my price range. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars for these statues, because I think they are very, very rare. But they've got characters. If you're a hardcore Berserk fan, you can see they've got the Crystal Dragon Apostle. They've got Nosferatu Zod. They got Guts during the Happy Saga. I forget what we call it. Either way, like young Guts. They've got so much cool stuff. I was just fanboying out over some of these. I'm sorry, we all know the problem of trying to take photos of stuff through cabinets. You're always going to get a glare, but even these pictures, I hope, show you how cool some of these are. I was blown away to see them. I didn't know that they existed, but here they are, and I'm happy to share them with you. The Golden Age. That was the name of the arc where we had young Happy Guts. The Golden Age. That age didn't last for long. And finally, a little bit of merchandise. PSD Studios are giving us a mug fit for a king. I genuinely, straight up, I really want this. I might even order it for myself because, dang it, I've got my Osaka Starbucks coffee mug, but to be drinking out of this every live stream, I think I owe it to myself to have a goblet fit for a king. Not that I am a king, but I want, something that's just going to be as awesome as this, because just look at it. PSD Studio, guys, you've made something kitsch, camp, brilliant, bonkers. I want to be drinking my morning coffee out of it, because look at the size of it as well. This thing's huge. You can have a gallon of coffee in here. That's just what I need to get me through an average model behavior live stream. So yeah, coming out the fourth quarter of this year, which is pretty much now, I'm going to see where I can order this from, because I want me a Super Mario mug. And finally, an actual and finally. We've had two and finallys. You know what? It's my show. I can have as many as I want. The whole thing's an and finally. This guy I found in a store in Denden Town that I go to for secondhand Marvel Legends. And help me out, gang. I'm putting this out to you. Who is this? It doesn't look like a custom, but it doesn't look like any Marvel Legend I've ever seen. Is it just some weird random third-party thing? Is it some odd exclusive Marvel Legends figure that somehow never got brought to my attention? What's got into making this? There's obvious Iron Man parts here, but then the green, it doesn't look like anything I recognize. But also it doesn't look like a custom either. So gang, help me out here with your knowledge. If you've ever seen this before, let me know what it is. If you've never seen it before, tell me it's a random third-party thing that I shouldn't waste any more grey matter on. But I was intrigued, and I thought I'd put this out to you guys. Who is this person in my local secondhand Marvel Legends store? What's he doing there? And why should I care about him? Because he does look kind of fun, but just not like anything I've seen before. And finally, the third and finally for today, it's Patreon shoutouts. What is this exactly? Well, I thought, you know what? I get a lot of questions from people on Patreon, so why not make that a little feature? So if you want to send me a question to answer on the show, then you can do that over at patreon.com. So first of all, I got three. First of all, Brad asked me, what figures are you most looking forward to? I mean, come on, how long is a piece of string? There's a whole bunch of figures out there that I could want to spend money on. But in particular, the ones that I really want to get are the Fury Toys 3 Shark Boys. I decided one wouldn't be enough. I think I need to pre-order. I haven't pre-ordered yet, but I think I need to pre-order all three. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to be like, yeah, these are great, but that one I didn't get has got those features. Yeah, I think all three of those Shark Boys, they look amazing, and just to stack those up next to the Fu-Ray Planet characters, it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah, those are the three action figures I'm definitely most looking forward to right now. BJ asks, are there any action figures that you have left in England that you wish you'd taken to Japan with you? And honestly, yeah, I wasn't expecting to have an action figure collection in Japan. I genuinely wasn't. I thought, oh, no, I'll do the show, but I won't be buying more figures. Well, that didn't last. And now I'm thinking I should actually have some of my English figures here. Mainly, I think one that always springs to mind is my Hot Toys Scarlet Spider. Because Scarlet Spider's got his own section now, which I didn't even have in England. But now we've got a Scarlet Spider section. So the Hot Toys Scarlet Spider, I kind of wish he was here. And he's always been one of my absolute favorite figures anyway. And along with that, of course, Mafek's sensational Ben Reilly. So those are two big ones I would have loved to have brought with me. But then you start rattling things off and I think Mezco Wolverine, yeah, would have loved to have had him. Storm Collectibles, Axel Stone, that genuinely might be my favorite action figure. There's so many to choose from, but yeah, when I go home to visit at some point, I don't think I'll be coming back to Japan empty-handed. I think I'll be bringing a few action figures with me. And the third question is from James, who asks, Dave, will you be getting the Darkstalkers vampire lady from Storm Collectibles? Speaking of Storm Collectibles. And the answer is no, I won't. I was tempted to when I saw her teased, but then when I saw the final reveal pictures, like, just doesn't do it for me. There's a little certain something there. I think it is just in the general face. The eyes are a little far apart. I think the body looks a bit odd. It doesn't do it for me. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations where the whole is not as good as the sum of its parts. All the individual elements of that figure are good, but then when you put them all together, I don't know. It just doesn't work. So as excited as I was for a Storm Collectibles Morgan figure, that's the name, isn't it? Morgan. I think that one's going to have to pass me by. And finally, no, just kidding, that is it. Guys, thank you so much for watching Model Behaviour. If you want to support the show, you can do it at patreon.com or by getting a channel membership. You get access to all the extra bonus videos on there, like the one that was just posted of my review of the Kraken figure, which is a lot of fun. So gang, thank you for all your support there. If you want to throw some questions at me through Patreon, you can do that. I'll answer them on the show as well. But until then, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
I'm here. Coffee.